It all started in economics. You guys know. I've been taking that first quarter, right? And the thing is I was sitting next to my friends. We were having a great time until the teacher was like, you know what we're gonna do? Every unit, we're gonna split up into teams. And I'm just gonna assign you guys teams. And we set up these tables around the room, right? And so we get assigned seats, and we're sitting next, and so I come in the room, and I see my name, and I sit down. I have no idea who this guy is, no idea who this guy is. They both look kind of like losers. And then this girl walks in. I was like, I've seen you before. I know I have, right? And she sits down next to me. I'm like, I know, we know each other. You're my best friend now, because we gotta look out for each other. I'm not gonna last in economics if we're not friends. And she was on the same page, so that was good. Also, Asmi, how are you going? Obviously, this is Jay. We need a name for this bird. Jane. That is a good name. You don't want to dox people, right? You don't want to dox people. Yeah, Jane walks in, we sit down, we start talking, the next few class periods, we get to know each other. We're having this great back and forth. And usually, because of that one time I got publicly humiliated like a year ago, you guys have heard that story, I don't really catch feelings, okay? I'm like, oh, this person's cool, but I can kind of feel it. I'm like, oh snap, I'm catching feelings. This is bad, okay? Catch flights, not feelings. Absolutely. I stole $1? Oh yeah. That's okay. Breaks are important. Breaks are very important. Right. So then, I was hanging out with a bunch of friends. Like, that Saturday. And I was like, this is bad. I'm catching feelings. And I had to tell somebody, because Jane was on my mind. I was like, oh, this is bad. I gotta tell someone. So I ended up spilling the beans to basically everybody there at once. Alright, and they're like, hey, we can, listen. They're like, GT, listen here, okay? We can make this happen. So I start taking notes, okay? we taking notes on how I'm gonna win Jane over. We got them all. You can't see, but they're there, okay? The notes are there, okay? So, we're literal notes. I was taking literal notes, okay? She's a volleyball player, right? And so we got the notes. I'm like, all right, here, I'm going on Monday. I'm gonna go into economics. I'm gonna put on my best show, my moves, my stuff, It's gonna be great. I go in, we start talking. I ask her about volleyball or whatever. It's in the notes, I'm bringing up all the conversations I'm supposed to be. And then she's like, oh yeah, we have a game today. You should come. I'm like, oh my, she wants me to come and watch the game. I'm like, bet, I'm there. 100%, I'm there. And I'm excited at this point. I'm like bouncing up and down. I'm like, we're doing it. I'm actually gonna do this for the first time in like my life ever. Give or take, there's a few things that happen. Right, well, a bunch of other people are going to watch the game. All the boys, all my friends are there. We're watching the game. The game's a great time, And game ends, tell her she does great, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I didn't do great. I'm like, yes, you did. You had the spike, you had the block, whatever. It was good. I tell everything I need to. Okay, the volleyball game. What goes great, we tell her, blah, blah, we're talking. And I'm like, I need to, ask her to lunch or something. Obviously, I'm doing this all way too quick. You guys can already see the problems. I took notes. It's a problem. Alright, so Tuesday, I'm talking to her, best friend. Because I'm friends with her, and we're chatting. She's like, here's what you do, alright? Today, ask her if she can go to lunch on Thursday. She'll say yes. And I was like, you would know, man. She would say yes, right? So, I'm about to get sabotaged right here. Here comes the ultimate betrayal. So Tuesday night comes around. We're texting or whatever. I send a message. I'm like, do you want to get lunch on Thursday? Would you be down? And she says, and I kid you not, she says, actually, it's my birthday on Thursday, so probably not. I'm gonna go with the best friend I was just talking to about asking her to lunch on Thursday. And I was like, You don't say, no way. Birthday's on Thursday? gosh, I did not know that. Well, shoot. And didn't you have a volleyball game on Thursday too? No way. I'll be sure to show up to that at least, you know? We did add that to the notes. We got the date down, okay? We remember. I know, right? So the next day comes around. I'm sitting in AP Lang, English class, before lunch. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, I'm like, what do I do, man? What? This is bad news bears, alright? Talk to the best friend. I'm like, hey, you kind of just... Did you remember it's her birthday? She's, no, not at all, actually. That's on me. I'm like, I have... Here's where things get terrible. Alright, backstory. This whole week at school, we're doing like a spirit week where each kid's dress up to a different theme every day, okay? It happens to be teacher day today, right? And so I come dressing up like the basketball coach on game day. I'm wearing my nicest clothes, like a suit, you know? This is gonna be important for later because this Wednesday, I'm sitting AP Lang and I have a great idea. I'm like, oh, there's a mall. It's only an hour and a half away. I'm gonna drive there and I am going to buy her jewelry for her birthday. What a good idea. What could go wrong there? 90 minutes away. It's a quick trip. It's a quick trip. It's in and out, you know? And so I asked her best friend first. I'm like, I'm just hypothetically speaking here. Do you think it'd be a good idea to, like, I don't know, go to like Junction, go to the mall and like, I don't know, buy Jane a birthday present? And she's kind of like jokingly, she's like, yeah, that's a great idea, GT. And I'm like, oh, no way. So I get in my car. It's lunchtime, third period. I have an open hour. I'm gone. I'm on the highway. I'm going 70 on a 65. I'm zooming my way there. I'm calling my mom. I'm saying, Mom, you're gonna have to excuse me from fourth period. You need to excuse me from fourth period, Mom. I'm not gonna make it back, okay? I'm going to the mall. We're skipping the part where you rat me out, okay? The story's too long to include that. Oh, hey, Bees, good to see you, man. It's just about a girl. Yeah, it's about a girl. It's about how down bad, how I was caught simping for a girl. And I'm getting the birthday gift. So, an hour and a half later, give or take, I take a couple wrong turns. The GPS is kind of weird. I show up to the mall. I walk in. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm wearing some super nice clothes in the middle of the mall. And I'm looking around. I take a picture of K Jewelers. I'm like, is this the place? Best friend texts me back. No, absolutely not. Go to like Claire's or something. So I walk into Claire's. And immediately, like, two of the workers come up to me, and they see how well dressed I am, and they see I'm a guy or whatever. They're like, "Hey, like, can I help you? Like, what are you doing here? You know?" And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so embarrassing." But it's for Jane, so I have to. All right, I see nothing cool in Claire's, so I walk back out. I see this place called Zane's. I think it's super fancy. I'm like, this is the place, you know. This looks like high class CEO style. So I walk over into Zane's, and this lady comes over to me, and I'm looking around at all the jewelry, and I'm talking to her, and she looks at me, and she's like, "Can I just say something real quick?" And I'm like, yeah, sure, you know. And the lady working there is like, "You are really handsome. You're so well dressed." And I'm like, well, thank you, you know. And she's like, "What do you do for a living?" What? I mean, okay, I see now. I'm wearing these nice clothes. They obviously think I'm a literal, like, CEO right now. And so I'm like, I'm gonna play this story. I'm gonna play into this story, and I tell her, I say, I actually work at a super nice golf course. Okay? I'm unemployed, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know. And she's like, "Oh, really? I thought you might be a teacher or something." I'm like, in my head, I'm like, that's so funny, because it's teacher day. No, it's a long story. Am I buying an engagement ring? We're getting there. Okay. So anyways, I go around the loop, I look at all the jewelry and stuff, I'm looking at this nice stuff, and the lady comes over and she like pulls it out. She's like, I'm about to make a sale. This guy is clearly rich. He works at a golf course. Alright, and she shows me the piece of jewelry and stuff. It's a really nice necklace, to be fair. Very simple, very nice, has diamonds in it or something. She was like, yeah, that'll be like $350. Now, I'm down bad, guys. I'm down really bad, but I'm not down that bad. I'm not down $350 bad. So I look at her, and I say, can I take this real quick? And I hold up my phone to my ear. She's like, yeah, sure, no problem, no problem. I walk out, answer the phone. I stand out there for like 3 minutes, talking to myself. Nobody's on the phone. Okay, alright, I'm walking back and forth through the mall. People think I'm crazy. Okay, I hang up the phone. I walk back in. The lady looks at me and I say, I am so sorry, but I have to go right now. Okay, I just got an emergency phone call. You know what? If I come back, save that for me. You know, I'm gone. You know, I'm leaving. Okay. This was a great escape plan, and it works out. It works out good. And then I text my little sister. I say, what is a good jewelry place? Because Claire's is not doing it for me. She tells me going to like Francesca's or whatever. Francesca's. I go in there. I actually find some nice jewelry. I find a nice like bracelet and necklace. I decided to buy both of them. One of them's on clearance, you know. So we got money to spend. Only like 40 bucks. And, you know, good purchase. So I have the jewelry now. I make sure to avoid Zane's on the way out. We take the long way around the mall. Yeah, I know. I should have gotten her, like, a blanket candle or something. I went all out.
Exactly what I told you.
Yeah. I got jewelries. Yeah, anyways. Good pick. I start driving home, and I'm like, alright, we gotta deck this box out. I need to make this the best, like, birthday gift you've ever seen in your life. And let me tell ya, I think look at that. That is what I made. There's the J for Jane. Doesn't that look sweet? I was proud of this. I was proud. It was like, no way. I was on the top of the world. No way anything can go wrong, right? Right, guys? Nothing can go wrong. Now, obviously, I've been talking to so many people about how I'm in love with Jane that she knows at this point. It's gonna come important later. Thursday comes around, it's her birthday, economics goes well, the volleyball game comes around, the volleyball game goes great, you know, we're cheering, student section's having a great time, game ends, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to give the gift, you know, tonight, it's the birthday, so I stay after the game, everyone leaves, I'm waiting for the players to come out, I'm sitting on top of my car, and she comes out, and she's got like her hoodie on. I only have a beanie here, but she got her hoodie now. She's walking down, and she's, like, rushing past me. Like, she doesn't want to talk to me. Or whatever. And I'm like, okay, this isn't good. Maybe she had, like, a bad day. I can turn this around, though. But I'm socially awkward, okay? So I don't... I'm like, hey, Jane, how goes it? You know, great game out there. And she's, like, rushing in her car. She doesn't even really say anything. And she's like, oh, sorry, I have, like, so many notifications on my phone. And I'm like, what? Like, what kind of excuse is that? I don't say that. In my head, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, this is bad news bears, alright? I'm like, well, anyways, you know, I know it's your birthday today, so I got you the gift. I give her the box. You know, I'm like, I hope you like it or whatever. And she just gets in her car. She's like, oh, thank you. Shuts the door, drives away, doesn't even open the gift there. And I'm like, well, that really couldn't have gone worse than it did. But then I realized that I forgot to ask her if she wanted to go to lunch because she was in such a rush to avoid me. And so I text her real quick. I'm like, oh, yeah, do you want to get lunch on Friday? Like the next day, by the way? She's like, no. I think I'd rather go with like so-and-so. And I was like, oh, that's fine, you know, just let me know if you don't like the gift, you know, I can return it still. Francesca's, I got the receipt right here. It says you got like 21 days. And I am so sad right now, guys. This is rough. I'm sitting in my car, I'm playing the sad music all the way home. I get home, I go into that closet and I sit down for a good just 20 minutes or so. I just sit there. And I just think, you know, got my boys telling me that I deserve better. And that's roughly as far as that went. We made some poor life. Well, I was at another gathering, so to speak. So at another gathering with a bunch of people, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna text her again. All these snaps that I've been sending her, by the way, ever since that last snap that I sent, left unopened. Every single snap. So I'm like, oh yeah, let's drop the double snap. Let's drop the double text. Who cares, all right? And so I hit her with the like, hey, what's up, smile. And then like 30-40 minutes passes, nothing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get a little passive aggressive, make some poor decisions, and I say, like, because she was like, oh yeah, we're just friends, by the way. I was like, yeah, that's cool or whatever. And I like text her again. I'm like, can friends talk to each other still? Bad idea. Never got a response from that. And now, no matter what I say, no matter what I send, she doesn't want to talk to me anymore at all. So it's been a slow process getting over Jane, you know? But we're getting there. She's probably no less awkward. She's definitely less awkward, I promise.
It's not as cute.
She's gorgeous. Shut up, Riley. And that's why I'm back to streaming. Here we are, guys. Here we're back.